following video contains scenes of violence. Viewer discretion is advised. You fell for the hype and joined the street gang, or maybe you were forced and had no real choice. Representing the colors meant you had to bang or slang. Lashing out with violence became your new voice. They told you we're all family through rain, sleet, and hail, but your true prize is either the grave or rotting in a jail. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and welcome once again to my channel, Stop Effing Killing. I'm your host, the MOD, also known as the Method of Delivery. Before we get into today's topic, please like, share, and subscribe if you find anything that resonates with you. So, today's topic is gangs, societies cry for help. Again, gangs, societies cry for help. The reason I want to talk about this topic today is because there have been many shootings all across our country in these last few weeks, days, and months. And many of those shootings are gang related. It doesn't matter which gang, caused the shooting, whether they're the Vice Lords, Crips, Bloods, some motorcycle gangs like, the Mongols or Hell's Angels. It doesn't matter, or any offshoots of those gangs. It doesn't matter. What matters is that gang violence is preventable. It is a preventable thing. Some people join gangs by, choice. They want to be a part of the gang because the gang culture has permeated many parts of our society. But some join by force. They have no choice because of where they live or who many of their family members are. According to the World Health Organization, homicide is one of the leading causes of death among individuals aged 15 to 29 years old. The vast majority of those victims are male. Now, what does that tell you? That age, 15 to 29, is one of the most active times in a gang member's life. Many of these individuals join gangs because of poverty, because of crime, crime in their area. They join because of abuse or neglect by their parent or parents, and low education. The gangs prey on these types of individuals because they tell them, hey, you're not getting attention at home. Your mom is latchkey or your dad is latchkey, or, they're on drugs, or, they're criminals as well. Hey, they're not showing you love. Come to us. We will show you the love that you're not getting at home. You'll get your respect. You'll have money, you'll have women, you'll have power. But what they're not telling them is that, the majority of gang members, they have two main choices. If they don't leave the gang, they're either going to get a lengthy jail sentence, or they're going to wind up dying or being seriously injured. They don't talk about that part so much. They only talk about all of the upsides, And so let us look at a short clip of a video of Tate Reeves, the governor of Mississippi, who, talks about, women who don't have abortions. Let's listen.
Well, Mississippi also, and I know you were just talking about some of the economic statistics, you're proud of the unemployment rate, et cetera, consistently has one of the highest child poverty rates in the country. Do you see no relationship there between very restrictive abortion laws and children who, yes, thousands of them perhaps have come into existence because of that law, but their lives may be of poorer quality for it?
Well, I can tell you this. I would much rather see a baby that is not killed in the womb or otherwise, that has maybe a challenging upbringing. What we're trying to do is...
So, I don't know if you caught that in his interview, but he said, we know that many of these youths will struggle growing up. So he knows this. He knows that unwanted youth will struggle. He knows this. there are resources to get out of the gang. And many of those resources I'm going to list in the description of this video. However, Reeves lets you know that the federal, rather state or local government, because he is representative of those governments, they don't give a damn. They don't care. They don't care about low-income people or people who don't have means. Because he said out of his own mouth, we know that they're going to struggle. We know this. So it's up to us to prevent people from joining gangs. Now, how do we do that? The first thing is, for the love of God, please, if you do not want to have a child, use some type of birth control, men and women. Please do not bring youth into this world. Do not bring kids into this world that you don't want. Don't do it. Why? Because eventually these kids are going to grow up. They're going to be susceptible to joining gangs because you didn't want them in the first place. Or maybe you're on drugs, or, whatever the case may be. If they don't feel that love at home, they're going to seek it elsewhere. And the gangs will show them some type of love. Also, we can be mentors to some of these youth. I've done it in the past myself. I try to be a role model for my kids, but I've also mentored, however long, people's, children who weren't mine. Maybe I spent some time with them. Maybe I took them somewhere, taught them how to draw or paint or something. I've mentored other people's kids, and we can do the same thing, if possible, if feasible, if you have the time, if you have the resources to do it. If it's not going to put your life in danger or put you in a bad way, do it, Another thing we can do is secure these doggone firearms. A lot of these weapons that are used to commit these drive-bys, these homicides, these aggravated assaults, they're stolen. If you know you're going somewhere and you can't take your weapon into the building, leave it at home. Do not leave it in your car, under the seat, in the center console, in the glove box. That's not a secure place to leave a weapon. Leave it at home. Speaking of leaving the weapon at home, if you do have a weapon at home and you can afford it, buy a gun safe. If you can't buy a gun safe, unload the weapon, disassemble it, whatever you have to do, but render it inoperable. You don't want to leave weapons laying around for criminals to break into your house and, just steal your weapons and use them in these crimes. The thing is, nobody is coming to save us. Tate Reeves made that obviously clear, that no one is coming. So we have to save ourselves. We have to do things to try to make our society safer. Our federal government is looking at education cuts, social program cuts, cuts to mental health. They're trying to cut programs and services all across the board. And a lot of these services affect at-risk, underprivileged youth. And the gangs are all too happy to take them into the fold and to give them the things that they can't get at home. So we have to do these things to help over time try to prevent gang people joining gangs as well as gang expansion. My heart goes out to all of those members of our society who've lost their lives due to gang violence and or who've been, critically wounded or injured by, the bullets that come from these stolen weapons. That concludes our topic for today. Gangs, society's cry for help. And I just want to say that there is no you and there is no me. There is only we in this fight to, keep our youth out of these gangs. There is only we, and we must stop the effing killing. Thank you and have a safe day.